Hi everyone. In this first video, I'm going to demonstrate how to make bar graphs and histograms using Excel. In 2:30 this week, we're talking about how to construct this type of graph. And so what I would like you to do, if you haven't done so already, is download this practice sheet that's right above this video. And that way you can practice making the graphs as I show you how to do it. Okay, so get that sheet if you don't have it right now. All right, I have some data here for the first graph we're going to make, which is a bar graph. We use bar graphs with nominal data or ordinal data. These are data that are distinct categories that don't overlap. They're not continuous variables, they're discrete variables. And so we represent this by having bars that don't touch each other. So we need to be able to make that in Excel. So I have some data here on the left. I have crocodile, rat, escargot, and a bunch of numbers. Let's put it together and then I'm going to add the title at the end. So I'm going to highlight first the data, and that's the first step in making a bar graph, and then go to Insert and hover over to something that looks like a bar graph, which is actually the first one right here. And it says right there, Insert Column or Bar Chart. So I'm going to click on that and I'll drag down just to the first one. Voila, we have a bar chart or a bar graph. I'm going to double click on the title to add it. And what is this graph? Things that reportedly taste like chicken. Well, everything tastes like chicken, except for maybe KFC. It's kind of stats humor. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to copy this graph and paste it into a Word document. If you click on the graph and then you right click and press copy, you can come down to a Word document, and I'm going to right click it and paste it as a picture. There you go. And that's an easy way to make a graph and plop it into a Word document. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, now let's do a histogram. So to make a histogram, I'm going to use the data over here, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. And as a reminder, histograms are constructed when we have data that are equal interval or ratio. In other words, there's an equal distance in between the data and they are continuous, they're connected. There's no gap between one point on the number line and the next. So here we have 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and in between those weeks we have days and hours and minutes, so they can really be divided down and there's no gaps in between these data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did for a bar graph. I'm going to highlight everything, then I'm going to come over to Insert, and this time instead of clicking on the bar graph, I'm going to go down here and drag down to histogram. Well, it didn't make a histogram, did it? It's very frustrating. What I have to do is I have to double click on one of the numbers on the x-axis. So I'll do that, double click, and it says Format Axis, and I'll say by category. And when I do that, it writes everything. It puts all the correct data in the correct places. And so I'm going to very quickly put in the chart title for this. Home gym usage after purchase. So when you buy a home gym, in the first week you use it 7 times. In the second week you use it 5 times. In the third week you use it 3 times. And then the fourth week, not at all. Hopefully that's not the case for you and your exercise routine, but there you go. So this is a example of a histogram, and again I could do the same thing. I could just double click, or not double click, right click and go to copy. Then I'll come on over here and I will right click and paste it as a picture, and there you go. And you can do anything with this now. You can cut and paste it into anything you want. So this is an example of a bar graph with nominal or ordinal data, depends on what type of data you have. And this is an example of a histogram with equal interval or ratio data. All right, so keep practicing with this, have fun with it, and I'll see you at the next video.